Hey guys, just Veena here. I've been wanting to do book video reviews for quite some time now, since international book promotion is actually focusing on video marketing in order to enhance authors' presence on the internet using video products like interviews and also book video reviews. So if you have been following us closely, you know that we have always been talking about, putting authors out there so that they can speak for the books themselves. It's not just like having somebody marketing the books for themselves. So we've been doing quite a number of video interviews now, live chats, especially with fans, and also book trailers have always been, one of the things that we've been doing from the beginning of the time. And adding to this is book video reviews. In the past, we have been using quite a number of book video reviewers out there, or now we call it booktubers. If you were to go to YouTube, you will be able to find a lot of book video reviewers, and we call them booktubers. So personally, I have been a fan of non-fiction books, and I love reading books from the Middle East. And I love to read books about women's struggle and how they actually live in countries like in countries like Iraq, Iran, and those stories are actually very fascinating. And I find the women to be very empowering, and they're very motivating in terms of coming out of a struggle. And some of them even go to the extent of building a life altogether in a foreign country, and coming out as a successful women. These are the books that have been shaping me as a woman who I am today. And I've been reading a lot of books about the Middle Eastern women a lot. And one of the books that I read lately is Nujeen. And Nujeen Mustafa is actually a refugee. She is a disabled person, and this story was actually written with Christina Lamb. If you know Christina Lamb, she has written Malala Yousafzai's book, and so she is also one of the authors for this book, together with Nujeen Mustafa herself. And Nujeen Mustafa is a 20-year-old girl, and she is actually from the war-torn area of Syria. She comes from Syria. And if you were to recall what happened to Syria, probably I think like many of us would just be considering what happened to Syria just like another news. It's nothing special to us, because we are in a safe country. We do not go through anything like these people go through. And therefore I think stories like Nujeen's has actually become something that we watch in the news, and we do not particularly pay attention to how much they suffer during the period of war. And so I wanted to start my book video review with Nujeen's book. And I'm glad that I actually read this book. I bought this book in the first place, and I read it. My book video reviews are going to be in a structured format. So meaning to say, I will be rating books according to three criteria. The first one is going to be the internal layout. So I think book covers don't really play a part in me in picking up a book, for me to pick up a book. So what matters more is probably the internal formatting, or probably the internal layout of the book. So internal layout is going to be the number one criteria. Number two is going to be the plot, the story itself, right? and the readability that comes with it. And number three is going to be about the key takeaway message. So these are the three things that I have on mind, especially when reviewing non-fiction books. So to begin with, I think the internal layout of this book is really good. It's you don't have to, like, turn the pages right to the end to read the book. It's really great. It just fills up this part of the book. Probably just 3/4 of the page is being filled with text. So it's fairly very easy to read, and it's very convenient, which is one of the things that I will always check before buying a book, because I think the internal layout of a book is really important uh, to really hook me into the reading mode. So that is 10 out of 10, and I think it is an excellent book. Even the cover, I mean, the cover has got Nujeen's face on it, so it's Nujeen herself, and I think it's amazing. And coming to the plot development, which actually affects the readability of the book. Well, I think the plot development, it wasn't really a book that makes me want to, finish it in one sitting. It has, I think, the lack of punctuations, especially comma, in a lot of places. I think that is a bit disturbing for me, because I had to, stop and wonder what it is actually trying to say, what the paragraph is actually trying to say. So I personally prefer books using commas, punctuations, as much as they should. And I think the lack of it in this book is a bit disturbing for me. And I think the other aspect that I can recall at this point of time is the fact that I think the storyline is not too gripping. It focuses a lot about Nujeen's life. It's being told from the first person's point of view, and at some parts of the book, I feel like it's not very captivating. However, it's not too bad. It's definitely not too bad, but it's just probably the lack of punctuations, the use of punctuations, and things like that would maybe made me feel so. And apart from that, I think in terms of the story itself, but I think the story itself is just really amazing, because it actually tells you the struggle of refugees out there, what kind of daily lives they are actually going through, and to what extent the difficulties is in getting another country to accept themselves as part of the citizen. So it's just very amazing how people like Nujeen actually can pull through such difficult situations, and come out of the struggle, find a whole new place to live in, and living back all the memories, all the people, probably relatives, friends, and everybody back at Syria, coming to she eventually she ended up in Germany. And I think while she is having a very good life at Germany, but I think the pain of constantly seeing the homeland being scrutinized by political people out there, I think it is very, very painful. And I think I have not been in that situation. So I think we are just taking for granted whatever that we have right now in this world, in this in this country that we live in, the beautiful country that we all live in, the peaceful country that we all live in. And having said that, I think Nujeen's sister, who has been a very good support for Nujeen all this while, and I think she is also an equally amazing person. And I find this story to be really very motivating, and I wouldn't be seeing the key takeaway message of this book is that I think I wouldn't be seeing refugees the same way I saw refugees in the past. And I think now, thinking about Rohingyas in Myanmar, and you know the kind of struggles that they had to have to go through, I think I'm more empathetic towards refugees, and I'm more concerned. More concerned when people say refugee in the past. When people say refugee, you just kind of like, you know, refugee is just another thing. But now I feel like, okay, I feel a bit more, you know, concerned towards them, and I feel like wanting to just get to know more about their struggles and things like that. So uh, definitely has changed my perception towards refugees. And also the key takeaway message from this book, from Nujeen's point of view, is that we shouldn't be seeing refugees just like just another number. They are not just a number. It's not like 10,000 refugees or 100,000 refugees. I think what she's trying to say is that each and every life counts, and they have the potential to make a difference in the world that we live in at this point of time. And I think the key takeaway message is 10 over 10. And also Nujeen as a person, I think she's brilliant. Being a disabled person, I think she's smart. She's really smart for age, and I think she knows a lot of things because of her reading habits. Also, she watches a lot of documentaries on television, and that has made her really brilliant. I think she's a very brilliant person, and probably we shouldn't be looking at refugees, you know, the way that we used to look at them, as just like somebody coming to rob our place or somebody coming into our country to rob the jobs. But I think it's more about being a human and just um, showing humanitarian to people out there, regardless of where they come from. So yeah, so that is my book review for Nujeen, and I think I would definitely recommend this book for anybody who is looking to learn more about refugees and the surprising details of you know what they go through on a daily basis. I think it will definitely open your eyes and to be more compassionate. Thank you. So till we meet again in the next book review. So yeah, have a great day.